Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
The first thing that we're going to talk about, though, isn't necessarily something that you can buy. It was, it's a hardware unit that Google announced in conjunction with its new effort called Android TV. Now, this is the controller for it. The hardware unit is called the ADT-1. It's a developer kit. And it's actually, well, I can't really hold this up. If you go to the wide, you can kind of see the set-top box here. It's this little box right here. It's, you know, a tiny little black box with a little light underneath. This is a set-top box. It's a developer set-top box meant for developers that want to get their apps working with Android TV into a development environment. So you can basically, we're plugged right into this TV via HDMI. Of course, you're seeing the before you buy logo right now. We'll fix that here. And then it also comes with this gaming controller, because essentially they want Android TV to not only be a video streaming thing, but also heavy into gaming. And we've seen a lot of things, right? Like the Ouya. Did you ever get a chance to play with the Ouya?
A little bit, but I think it's a really smart move because I think the console gaming world is kind of skews toward the high-end hardcore gamers, and I have the feeling that the Android TV games are going to be sort of, you know, more casual games for the masses. And if that's the case, it should sell really well. And as you saw from your own playing with it and from the show, the performance for gaming looks really good.
Yeah, it does. So let's see here. So right now, what we're looking at, I believe it's set up for Chromecast. So right off the top, this this unit has Chromecast capability built into it, and that's actually, admittedly, how I've used it most. And if you've used a Chromecast, of course, it's pretty easy, both for iOS and for Android. You open up an app that supports Chromecast as long as they're on the same Wi-Fi network. You'll see this little box in your app, and I can just throw, you know, video content from YouTube, for example, up onto the screen. So that works out basically the same. But if I hit, and I'll go ahead and show right here on my over-the-shoulder shot, this is the Android TV app. There we go. It's not a whole lot to look at, and I asked them about this. I was like, okay, so is this really an app that, you know, people are supposed to by and large opt for, you know, versus their remote? Because there's nothing that's very pretty about this. They said really it's just, you know, as this box is meant for developers to get them started. But you can see up here this little search icon, right? So I'll go ahead and do the Gary Busey test. I'll hit that. Movies with Gary Busey. Movies with Gary Busey, and what do you get? There we go. We get the knowledge graph integrated in, so immediately it tells us all about this funny-looking guy, Gary Busey, and then I can go down with my app and I can select any of these, and if there's a way to stream them online on one of the apps that I have installed in Android TV, I can do that. There's also down here a little bit more, how meta, right? Amazon TV commercial of Gary Busey, searching Gary Busey on Amazon TV. There you go.
Eventually there'll be this show showing him doing Amazon TV.
See, we need to make this happen.
Android
Come on,
TV,
this is a meme in the making. I love it. So there you go. So that's kind of the promise of Android TV, essentially, is that it kind of has this universal search up at the top that allows you to do things like Academy Award winning movies of 2000. Did it? Winning movies of 2000. It didn't get Academy Award in there, but it figured it out anyway. So we've got all the Academy Award winning movies of the year 2000. Very powerful search there.
And that is the killer app right there. You actually covered on the two killer apps of this product, which is great Google search. Search has always been a big problem on television.
Yes.
And the other one is phone centrism. So you know, right out of the box, this isn't a situation where the phone as a remote control is some obscure option. The phone is how you control this for the most part. I'm sure some companies will come out with control, you know, they'll ship with the remote controls, but as far as Google is concerned, an Android phone is really how they want you to control this TV. And those are the two things, smartphone centrism and great Google search. That's what's great about this, I think.
That's it. That's exactly it. Now, what you're looking at right now is just the Netflix app, and it actually looks similar, I think, to the PS for Netflix app. I can't remember exactly. I know that this is a version of the Netflix app that you can see on other devices, and they've just kind of ported it over to Android TV. So I show this because it's it's pretty, and of course it works with Android TV. But if I go to home, this universal search up here should eventually surface content that's within Netflix. But right now it doesn't. So if I search for Breaking Bad. Oh, can bad. Let me try that again. Breaking Bad. There we go. Okay, so what we'll get is a card for Breaking Bad. All you see right now is available on Google Play Movies and TV. And from what I understand about this search, eventually this search is going to have the ability to reach into the apps that you have installed so that you don't actually have to go into the apps anymore, right? You can just do a search, find the content, pull it out. Right now, if I wanted to watch Breaking Bad, even though it's on Netflix, if I trusted this, I'd be paying for it piecemeal.
And of course, reaching into apps was one of the themes unveiled at this particular Google I/O. And this is going to be a kind of a universal feature, not just for the TV, but for just using the phone and so on. The ability to do essentially a search or a button or a menu item that goes across the platform into another app and find something inside that app. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Exactly. Super powerful stuff. Now, if I can turn the controller on here, I'll show you just real quick here. I have installed, there is a Google Store. It's a beta, kind of a preview version of the Google Store for Android TV. And another big thing about this is the apps that are in here are not new apps. So if I already have Riptide installed on my phone, it's the same app surfacing in the store here. They've just enabled it for Android TV because what the developers of Riptide have done, they've gone in and made the changes to it to allow it to run on Android TV. So you're not going to get every single game in the Play Store on Android TV. You're only going to get the ones that are tailored specifically by the developers to work in Android TV.
Do we have a sense of how difficult that is to do, to port a...
I don't have an exact sense of how difficult that is to do quite yet, but I do know that this is a big part of their effort, right?
Yeah.
Between Android TV, between Android Auto, all these different initiatives that they have, they're really trying to unify it so that it's easier for developers to take their apps and make them capable on all different screen sizes and configurations. And so Riptide GP2 is a game that I commonly use to test gaming performance on devices. And you know, I gotta say, it looks great. It's really fun to play it in the console style environment. There we go. Yeah, so it's just a great kind of you know, game with a lot of water effects and everything. And I'm horrible right now because I'm wearing an eye patch. I blame the world on my eye patch right now. So there you go. So this is just kind of, you know, a sense of what Google is trying to go with Android TV. Obviously, this is not their first time to bat. Google TV was their initiative before, and by all accounts, failed miserably. Yep. So I suppose they're hoping to kind of erase that memory and start over again. And I'd say it's a great start. It really is early days, though, and this is not a consumer product quite yet. I think we should start to see things coming out that are capable, obviously, once version L, whatever that happens to be, is released sometime in the fall, I guess. And hopefully we start to see more of these set-top boxes. It's also going to be built into the UI of TVs and everything.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, they would have been great if they had this out when they had Google TV, because back then there was very little competition in the space.
Completely.
By the time this thing is ready for prime time, there are going to be so many competitors, it's ridiculous, including from Amazon, of course, and Apple, and so on.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle at this point. But I think, you know, I think the appeal here is search, right? Google search is always, I mean, Google's just known for search. People who don't know Google for anything else, they definitely know them for search. And if that search extends into this platform and makes it as powerful as it promises, I think that's a big win.
What I like to see is increased Google Now integration. And of course they demonstrated, we're going to talk about the watches in a sec, but controlling the TV with a watch.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd love to see more Google Now integration. Already they can listen for TV shows, they can pay attention to what you watch and sort of remind you when shows are on, that sort of thing. But I'd love to see a lot more back and forth between the TV and Google Now. And that would be really cool.